Do you know, embarrassingly, I was reading comments for ages thinking that film out BTS meant to do something, like film out what is out. And then I realised film out is an actual thing. So here we go. Hello, wonderful humans of the internet, how are we? My name is Sam Scott-Thorne and I am a vocal coach based in Glasgow. Now, if you'd like to meet and explore your voice a little more, you can find me on sstvocals.com. You can also find me on Patreon and various other social media platforms, and I'll put the handles down below and over there. Over there. I don't know either. Now, if you'd like to consider becoming a patron, you have access to things like early release of reactions, you can fast track reactions, become a reaction, there's special roles on my Discord server, and you have access to all sorts of bonus features, like my Vocal Anatomy 101 series where you learn how the voice works. So consider becoming a patron and help shape my channel. Okay, it has been a hot minute since I listened to BTS. I can't even remember the last video I did to BTS, so we're gonna go back in and listen to Film Out. This is a performance at Music Blood, but I have no idea what year it was filmed or anything like that. So we're just going to go and take a listen and see what we think. Lovely so far. So we've had JK starting. He had a little bit more nasality in his tone, so a wee bit more kind of velum action there. Your velum or your soft palate is kind of what controls the access to your nasal passage. So he had a lot more of a nasality to his voice there, whereas Jimin had a little bit more kind of breathy, aspirate quality, a wee bit more air, and also a tiny bit of a drop larynx on there. Because his voice is so high set, even dropping a larynx doesn't make it sound deep. It still sounds relatively high. It just sounds very, very wispy. Lovely. Gorgeous. You hear that? It's right up into his nasal passage. So if you go sing, that nasality is maximum as it'll go. He's kind of taken it off a tiny bit, but then everything's got that kind of bass to work from. It gives everything a buttery, kind of compressed sound. Really, really nice. Listen to those tones. I think they're singing in octave jumps. There doesn't appear to be a harmony there. Ooh, la 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 la. Ooh. I think they're just singing on different octave jumps. So you're getting that kind of flavor of harmonics. The deeper line will have more harmonics off of it than the higher one. And that's why you'll get that kind of resonant, deep, swimmy sound and that thin sound on the top. But when you put them together, you get this lovely balance. They really, really know how to work their voices to the kind of best of their abilities. Really nice. So RM here is doing his speechy kind of tone. So his thyroid cartilage is very much vertical. It's exactly how it would be in his speech pattern. And he's dropping his larynx a little bit into that to get that really authoritative tone that he's so well known for. He's just kind of got this like command of his voice. You compare that to JK's voice, he's got this little light kind of, again, that nasal tone is coming through again, and they just complement each other so nicely. It's like you're getting little flavors, little sparks off of one another. I really like the way that they're doing this with this song. It seems to be like contrasting sounds, and they're coming at you like little flashes here. It's lovely. So Jin, now this is just like power. You can feel that squeeze coming from this vocal. He's getting as much kind of push off of that as he can. And his voice kind of does that quite a lot. He's always got this kind of like rev, ready to go kind of sound. Obviously has to back that off once he goes into that falsetto. You get a much lighter kind of pop off of that sound. But it's great. He kind of sounds like JK on steroids when he sings. He's just like, gives so much to it. Lovely. Again, there's that little contrasting tone coming through. Is it JK again? So JK has got the role of just giving these little licks onto the rapper's vocals in order to kind of pull them into this different place. It's like your ear can't get too comfortable with one without this like little kind of point of interest coming forward. It's really, really nice. So that one was Suga. I get Suga and J-Hope mixed up all the time, so if I've done that again, and I'm sorry. But I think that's Suga. Very nasal tone, like all up in there. Now, if you want to play about with that velum sound, all you need to do is go ga, 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 and you'll feel your velum kind of meeting your tongue and then leaving it again. So he's sitting that it's as close to that closed off position as possible. Just it gives that really compressed sound. It's like a vocal effect almost. Really nice. And then that was J-Hope. I hope that was J-Hope. His voice much more aspirate. So he's putting on that air, pushing the air through. The larynx is kind of dropping a tiny touch naturally. Everything has that kind of air kind of flow through. So the tone is joining the air rather than the air joining the tone, if that makes sense. Lovely. So V, he sang a tiny bit earlier, but I kind of missed him. He's doing a lot more of his higher work today. I'm so used to this kind of pulled sound that he does, which is a low larynx on kind of a higher note. But because he's up into a place where your larynx doesn't really want to pull down like up there, especially for the type of singing he's doing. If it was opera, maybe we could talk, but that kind of pop R&B kind of sound, his larynx is going to want to lift as he goes up through his register. So you're getting that kind of brighter bite off of it. He sounds quite similar to JK in many respects when he's up there. In fact, all of them seem to be able to kind of put on the like mask of one of the other singers. They're very, very good at that kind of mix and match vocal tone kind of thing. It's amazing. Right, this is getting really, really high. It's quite intense with headphones in, earphones, whatever you want to call them. Jin, that kind of innocent sound that comes out of him is really, really special. It's a very far back place sound, like up in here in the back of his mask. So it doesn't matter what he sings, it sounds like it's being kind of pulled back. You don't get any of that forward projection off of Jin because he's not wanting that sound. He wants that bright, youthful sound to come out of his voice, and he gets it in absolute bags. I don't think I've ever heard him sing that high in such a forceful way. He's obviously adding in a little bit of oral twang, which is your epiglottis, to make that kind of sound. It gives more power and projection without having to put in much more effort to get there. Top marks. And then Jin's matching him. Jin sounds a little bit heavier because of the way that Jin's voice is set. He's just got a lower set voice, not by much, but you just get a little bit more kind of full chord closure off of that. It's not as thin sounding. Really good. Jeez, oh. Wow. That was insane. Intense and insane. I didn't know which one I was wanting to say, so I'll just say both. Insane. They got right up into their head voices at the end there. That was head voice, not falsetto. Falsetto is a lighter, more hooty kind of sound. The folds can't come together to make like a thicker kind of sound, so the harmonics aren't there. It's a hoo, hoo kind of sound rather than a if that makes sense. All explained in my Patreon videos, so go and watch them if you want. Absolutely delightful. They're just really, really, really good singers. Like, great singers, great rappers, great balance, great use of tone, great use of like contrast, great use of harmony. They're just great. So I hope you liked that reaction. If you did, please give it a like and a thumbs up down below. And if you want to see more from me, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and anytime I have new content, you will be the first to know. So I guess all that's left for me to say is thank you so much for joining me. And how will we buy this one? I don't know. I actually don't know. I don't even know if I'm going to get the melody right on this. But anyway, I guess all that's left for me to say is thank you so much for joining me. And if you like this video, then please won't you hit like and then subscribe. Was that right? I don't even know, and it was probably flat, but bye.